Anti-intellectualism. Merriam-Webster defines the term as opposing or hostile to intellectuals, or to an intellectual view or approach. In today's world, it usually manifests in the shaming of people with university degrees, distrust towards experts in science, or sometimes just weird arguments.
It is appalling that each and every one of you sitting up there as human beings, part of the human race, the only race that we have, would suggest to muffle people, to put masks on our face, to keep us from breathing oxygen, to get us to become sickly.
Climate change has been going on since the beginning of time because it's called winter, spring, summer, fall.
So all I got to say is, if you love America, mamas, don't let your babies grow up to go to Harvard or Stanford Law School.
And just so you know, Mike Pompeo, the current US Secretary of State, graduated from Harvard Law School. Now, I didn't intentionally go for weird things Trump supporters said when I did the research. But there's no doubt that discussion about anti-intellectualism has soared during the Trump era, especially after the COVID-19 outbreak on US soil. The attacks on science and experts have not only been popularized, but also politicized by Washington.
New York had the highest death rate in the world. How could we possibly be jumping up and down and saying, oh, Governor Cuomo did a great job? He had the worst death rate in the world.
No, you misconstrued that, Senator, and you've done that repetitively in the past.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institutes of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, is the most visible example of someone caught in the crossfire. On the one hand, he holds enough scientific authority that the Trump campaign took his words out of context in a campaign video just to justify the president's handling of the pandemic. On the other, he is the target for people who oppose lockdowns, refuse to wear masks, and doubt the science surrounding COVID-19. Christian Christensen, professor of journalism at Stockholm University, said of this video, anti-intellectualism will destroy the US. No one can really blame him for saying such things. He made the comment in mid-April of this year, and since then, the number of COVID-19 infections in the US has rocketed. Now, close to 8 million Americans have been infected. More than 210,000 Americans have died. The White House gathering became something akin to a super spreader event. President Donald Trump, arguably the most protected person in the country, caught the virus and was hospitalized. Anti-intellectualism doesn't usually lead to people dying, so its danger is not always tangible. People ordinarily pay less attention to it, treat it as some kind of nuisance or outlier. Now, we're seeing its effect. COVID-19 kills, and its spread has been aided by doubting experts' intentions and holding an adversarial attitude towards science. As many countries look to resume cross-border travel, how could the US, with coronavirus running unchecked and experiencing a potential second wave, impact the world? They say herd immunity is the way to go to overcome the virus.
Never in the history of public health has herd immunity been used as a strategy for responding to an outbreak, let alone a pandemic. It's scientifically and ethically problematic.
People who don't believe the pandemic is serious versus someone who has spent his life at the forefront of science? I believe the latter. As for herd immunity, I don't know about others, but I opt out. It isn't within my intellect to want to infect myself with this virus in the hope to first live through it and then get immunity. There are proven safer ways to survive.